messing around. Look what I'm wearing.
Oh, you know what the color of that sweater is? Lamorne's wearing the Mess Around merch. Real. It's called butter.
It's called butter?
Butter.
Ghee? Ghee butter?
Ghee. It's clarified.
Clarified butter.
That looks good on you. That's a great color.
Thank you. Thank you for saying so. That means a lot. Allergies have hit me. So if I sound a bit nasally, go and F word yourself because I can't help it.
Don't even say that. I have been suffering so badly from allergies. And this morning I woke up and I'm like, I think I don't have like an allergy feeling in my body today. And you just said it.
You jinxed it.
And now, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look at you. Now it's about to be a mess for you on that island.
I get like full, what they call like sympathy pains. Like that's what happens in my body. I'm like a full empath. So I just go like, now see, look, look, I'm in a mess.
That's what I get when people are menstruating in the same city as me. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it.
We were never going to shoot the Menzies episode, but both Zoe and I were on our period, and then you got your period, and then they're like, we have to shoot it because Lamorne's on his period now.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. And it sucks for everybody else because they're getting sympathy, but I'm also getting sympathy. And I'm taking the credit.
All right. One of the best, funniest, weirdest, most quoted episodes of all time, you know what we're talking about, is Bangs Giving 409. Let's break it down.
Okay, so in this episode, when Schmidt cancels Thanksgiving in favor of Bangsgiving, a chaotic dinner party where everyone must bring a date for someone else, the loft is thrown into romantic mayhem, complete with a lunch monitor, a muscular lady cop, an anti-Semite, Tran, and a mysterious man named Jeff, spelled with a G. We'll be right back. We are back. I hate a Jeff with a G. I hate a Jeff with a G. I'm kidding. I know one. He's great.
There's so many actor Jeffs with a G.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot. Jeff Stoltz.
That's really funny because that's the only one I know. There's so many Jeff Stoltz. And that's the list. Okay.
The only one that matters. The only one that matters. Okay. Directed by Fred Goss and written by David Feeney.
Yeah.
Okay. So Schmidt in a pilgrim hat. He walks in and he's stressing everyone out.
Also instant jokes. He did look ridiculous in the pilgrim hat. Also, I don't think you can wear pilgrim hats anymore. So.
Nah, I think you probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't. I mean, they're just roasting the shit out of him too.
Roasting him. I do remember how much we were all just genuinely laughing on the couch because they kind of just let us go a little bit with it. Oh yeah, it was very fun.
When Jess says that he looks like Jewish Pharrell, I had to think back and go, wait, when did we shoot this episode? And this is the same time Pharrell was wearing those big ass hats. Remember when he started wearing those?
Hat Pharrell used to wear, and then remember Lenny Kravitz then was like, you can't one up me, and this showed up with the world's largest scarf. Remember that scarf? Yes. Everybody just went for giants. They wore clothes for giants, but on a human body. So then we look like tiny little people. Yeah,
people certain fashion trends didn't age well. I think the big hat will go down as one that didn't age very well.
But on Pharrell though.
Pharrell's a genius.
You can't he can do whatever he wants. It's kind of like, I don't know, Erykah Badu. You're just like, you're not, whatever she wears, you're just like, you're the coolest person ever.
Yeah. In Pharrell's case, the clothes don't make the man. He makes the clothes. You know what I mean? Some people, the clothes make them. They're trying really hard to be, you look at the Met Gala and some people are just trying so hard. But Pharrell is like, dude, I could walk in here with some bunny ears on and some tassels and I'm going to crush it.
That's right. That's very true. Some people just have that swagger with fashion. Schmidt does not. So he gets destroyed in this cold open.
That's right. But what is Bangsgiving?
It's a fun idea, Bangsgiving. You get to bring a date for someone else. Though a risky game, as we were learning.
It's very risky. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it at all. You know,
you wouldn't like it if I brought a date for you.
Well, it's called Bangsgiving, so immediately there's pressure for me to sleep with this person.
That's true. The Bangsgiving, it's also funny when they check in with you, the cop, and they're just like, the person's not allowed to leave until we sleep with them. Is that okay? They all look to you and you're like, gray area.
Gray area.
We're fine. Terrible and not true. Also, Winston just being so weird. I've gotten into feet recently and just wants to be slapped around. I'm like, why does Winston just, you say the inside things outside. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, but being slapped around it can't be that bad.
Well, it ends up happening to Coach, so.
Oh yeah, when triceps come in. Ooh.
Peppa.
Okay. So Jess, she brings Pearl, a teacher at her school for Winston. She is he thinks she's a teacher initially.
Yeah.
And then we find out he goes, lunch lady. She checks him. No, it's called lunch monitor. And like,
here's what I want to say. Do you hear the word lunch lady and not just instantly see Chris Farley? You don't remember that?
This is a sketch?
The lunch lady? It's like Dana Carvey and Chris Farley. And I think Chris Farley's like dressed like this big lunch lady and it's a big sexy SNL like bit and dance.
No. Oh, I know the bit. Oh, I know the bit, but that's not what I think of. You know what I think of?
Tell me.
A lunch lady from school. That's what I think of.
I mean, I feel like Chris Farley was the most iconic lunch lady of all time.
Well, after we break this episode down, it won't be him.
Look, allergies. Do you see what's happening to me right now?
We both are allergied up right now. I can't breathe. And you wanted to do this.
I wasn't. Then you said it, and my body just goes like full sympathy and goes like, I guess we got allergies.
It's still dark outside. You wanted to do this podcast. It's still dark out.
It's true. It's true. We're recording this at 6 a.m, you guys. It's going to be a wild one. It's our own Thanksgiving right now. Just a crazy, crazy mess. Who knows what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Coach.
Yes,
what a move by Coach brings Ryan.
Yes, Ryan goes in you. Oh my gosh. So this is interesting. So Nick brings Tran.
Yes, because he picked his own name. Who brings then Thai Monopoly.
That's right.
Every
Pearl.
Square is jail.
Yes.
Yeah, except for one piece of property and you have to fight for it. Crazy.
Coach, he slaps Winston because Winston brings Pepper. She has massive arms. She's jacked. Beautiful, great shoulders. Jess, she tells Winston that she's not a teacher, she's actually a lunch monitor. She gets on him for wearing the badge. Nick brings Tran, and then Coach drops this one on us when he walks in with Mr. Goes In You, and that's just no good.
No good. And then Schmidt brings Lucy, which is a ex of Nick's.
Nick. Oh,
that
boy.
feels dirty to do.
It is dirty. So I didn't blame him at all. You know, later on we'll see it when Nick gets the idea to kind of, try to finesse the situation with you to make it seem like to piss Schmidt off. I didn't blame him at all. I was like, why would you?
It's smart. But what he did, what he didn't think through is he should have told Cece, like, hey, this is making me feel jealous. Can you just help me out for a second so I can get like Schmidt to understand my feelings by making him live it, because he's not smarter than Cece. So
right.
His attempt to do it is painful.
She's like, can you come in my room for this $20?
I like how she's like, there's no way. I know you. Like, there's no way you have my money. So what's this about? You definitely don't have $20.
I love that it's $20 and this dude who has a job. He has a job. Sure. He works.
Yes.
He works in the cash business too.
Yes.
And you just know that he don't have it.
He doesn't have $20.
That's crazy to me. Okay, where are we right now?
Oh my gosh, no, it's my favorite flashback where he explains how he knows Lucy and he met her at the gym when he got the free pass for the day. Then you see him in jeans and a flannel running on the treadmill to say, do you have any snacks? And goes flying off the treadmill, slams his butt. That stunt is crazy.
That stunt is crazy. I've seen it. You know, you watch those videos on YouTube where people have these fails in the gym, and there's always a treadmill one, and I feel so bad for them. This stunt person, that looked more real than those videos that I've seen.
It felt like it was Tom Cruise, like doing that gym stunt. Because you were like, that feels very real. Like, how could they actually protect the stunt person in that moment? That looked like a hard fall.
That was a hard fall. That would be the worst thing to happen to me. And well, not the worst. I mean, dropping a bench, a barbell on your chest or your face. That would be the worst. But that's right there. That's next. That's next level. That's next level.
Also, like the I don't even know if I'd be able to feel the pain because I'd feel the humiliation first. Then the pain would hit my body.
But that's when you need Pepper. She can come in. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Lift
Where's
you up.
Pepper when you need her?
She should be spotting him.
This is also funny too when they explain why Schmidt's not allowed to date Lucy and that they have rules in place in their friendship, which is 1,000 showers must have passed. And he's like, it was 3 years ago. So like, you have no claim on this woman anymore. And he's like, if you think I've showered 1,000 times in 3 years, you're out of your mind.
Well, let's do the math here.
For sure, you should have showered 1,000 times.
3 years is a little over 1,000 days.
Right. So don't you take a shower every day?
Now I'm saying I take a shower every day, but you know, you hear the news and you hear the stories about these folks sometimes that don't believe in showering every day.
You hear the news.
It's always CNN front page news. It's always
headline, breaking news. Wolf Blitzer, breaking news.
People don't shower every day. Diddy trial. Trump and Elon aren't friends anymore.
That's right. But the number one story is some people are doing the daily shower.
Yeah. And so with Nick, he could be one of those people. You know what I mean? He's letting Nick
Miller is for sure one of those people.
Yeah.
He's a once a week kind of guy. He's a bird bath kind of man.
I'd say he's got about 700 showers in 3 years.
And Schmidt knows that. That's the thing. So Schmidt knows the statute is not up. But then you can manipulate that statute if you have somebody that's loosey-goosey with hygiene.
Loosey.
Right?
Goosey. No pun intended.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't say that on the regular? I say that about 3 times a day.
No, I just said no pun intended. Her name is Lucy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I got so excited about the goose part. I forgot about the loose part.
Come on, Hannah. Come on,
you
Hannah.
Guys. Okay, so Schmidt then gives Lucy the tour. He's calling his penis the tour.
The tour. I've done that. No, I haven't.
And then, the tour. Naming the penis is also something. I remember like in high school, you know, guys would talk like, oh yeah, I named it for sure, bro. It's got a name. How is that a thing?
I don't know. But what if you named it the tour and then she was like, oh, it's a short tour. I'm like, I gotta change the name. I gotta change my name.
To personify your penis is also very funny that real men do that.
We'll name it Cliff. It's an old white dude's name, Clifford.
All right. Okay. So then Ryan thanks Jess for inviting him. He didn't know that he was being brought to a singles party. She panics. Right? And she calls it a shingle party. There's going to be a lot of roofers there.
I honestly thought that bit was going to turn into like a shingles, like that old people get.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too, like a chicken pox.
Yeah, I thought that's where she was going to go. I forgot that's not where they went with it.
Yeah, they went with a roofer. Her whole thing is she's kissed him. She's into him. She likes him. But she's also worked really hard to be the vice principal, and she can't date a teacher. She could put her job in jeopardy. So she's really in a Sophie's Choice moment.
That's right. And
she's finally met like her dream guy.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people that's like, that's stupid. You can't. It'd be different if it were some sort of, I don't know, dangerous fling, weird fling, inappropriate fling. It's two grown-ups. Yes, they both work together. But where do you meet people? Most of the time, it's where you work.
This is what we talked about. So we talked about this when she first met Ryan Gozinu. And then we put the question out to all of our listeners. And I did a whole loft meeting where people were sending in their stories of how teachers sent in so many stories of how they met their significant other at work. Because they're adults. They're together. If you're single, you're spending time. You build relationships. So it is a dumb rule, which I think Coach says like 15 times in this episode. He's like, it's just a dumb rule. Like, don't respect this rule. It's ridiculous. But the stakes feel high to her. So she doesn't know what to do. So she yanks him in the room, locks him in her bedroom. All of her buttons are popping off of her dress. She's getting sexier by the second. It's tricky.
Very, very tricky. Now, where are we now? Are we with, oh my God. Oh my God. It's flashback. Is that where we are? Are we at this flash? Oh, no.
Wait,
no,
first they go up to the roof. They go up to the roof. Schmidt calls a meeting. He's like, this is not what I wanted to have happen. What is going on with everybody and who they've brought? This doesn't make any sense. Cece believes that no one's been brought for her because Schmidt was supposed to bring someone. And he's like, no, he's coming. It's Jeff with a G. Comes from money, obviously.
Right. 100%.
There's a peacock situation. Just don't worry. He'll be here. It all smells of bullshit. She's not into it.
Exactly. And and then this flashback happens. And as one of the funniest things I've ever seen. She talks about the keg and she goes, don't worry about it, I got it. And just lifts it so aggressively. The look on Damon's face is so funny.
I feel like this is a true personal Damon struggle. If he was paired with a woman that was stronger than him.
Yeah, like physically stronger.
Yeah, like you'd be scared.
I think I can handle that. I think I can handle that. Because I'm strong. I'm like world class strong.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, as far as like strength goes, like in the body.
Yeah. Not the mind, but the body.
The mind. Mind, I'm mid. I'm very mid. Easily swayed. Yeah. But body wise, I'm one of the elites. Yeah. And if I met a woman who was more elite than me,
yeah,
I think I can make that work.
I think it would put pressure on you to level up. You'd be like all of a sudden, Eddie at the gym. Eddie,
I know.
You got to get me stronger.
No,
I will say this as a woman who has only ever dated people that have been stronger than me. It's very handy. It's very handy to live in a house with somebody that will do all the heavy lifting. I got an easier life that way. So I'm just saying, men, you're missing out. Date a woman who's much stronger than you. All of a sudden, those trash cans you don't have to worry about, lifting all the big heavy groceries. She's got it. It's kind of a nice perk of dating someone who's stronger than you. Y'all should explore it.
No, Hannah, you had that one guy. I'm not going to say his name, but you had that one guy.
You think I was stronger than him? I know what you're talking about. I think you're right. I shouldn't laugh.
That dude was petite.
I think you're right. I probably was stronger than him.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, fine. Yes. And guess what? I'm not with him anymore. I had to do too much literal heavy lifting. Okay. I learned my lesson.
You needed a lumberjack.
Date someone stronger than you.
That's right.
Men, listen up. All right. So I think Pepper's a catch.
100%.
But he's struggling with this feeling of he's just never been in that dynamic before. So Coach is trying to figure that out. Yeah. And Winston's like bugging right now about the lunch lady. He's got some lunch lady trauma that we'll learn about.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. I don't understand why that is a thing. I guess it's the idea that the title of lunch lady, because when we grew up, the lunch ladies weren't quote unquote sexy. You know what I mean? At least not to us as kids. Maybe they were to the other teachers.
Which is a good thing that you didn't find like a woman, regardless of what she looked like, sexy. That's probably a healthy thing for a child. No,
when I was a child, I found so many of my teachers sexy. I found like Tyra Banks. Well, Tyra Banks is not that much older than me, but I was a teenager.
Tyra Banks. Everybody found Tyra Banks sexy unless you were like blind or something.
Blind. Anyway, now Winston is saying he's trying to figure this thing out for the guy. So he says, if Nick and Schmidt can't come to a decision about Lucy.
Oh, that's right. It goes to a vote.
Goes to a vote, and the winner gets Lucy. Loser gets 5 grilled cheese sandwiches. And Nick raises his hand, and no one's with him. No one votes. No one votes for Nick. We'll figure out why when we come back. And we are back.
We're back. They're giving advice now to Jess. And basically they're like, look, you feel kind of just like you're sexually frustrated. You have an opportunity here. It's Banksgiving. Rules don't apply. Just going. Bang one out. Bang one out is such a terrible expression.
Terrible.
Like,
it's terrible.
They all know what she's like, do it. She's like, I've never done that before. And they're like, we know, but do it. It's great. Yeah. And so they all vote on that. She gets a little like idea going now in her head.
And it's in that moment where, like we talked about earlier, like we alluded to, Nick starts talking to Cece and he's trying to get Schmidt's attention. He's doing, it's so funny.
He's doing the most, man.
Oh my gosh. And in that moment, Ryan receives a text from Jess and it says, come to her room. I love a text like that says, come to my room. Although when I get a text like that says, come to my room, I instantly reach for my weapon and I proceed with caution.
Right.
Because it could be a setup. I'm from the south side of Chicago. You never know.
Yeah, just in case they chose violence first.
Yeah, but I watch a lot of mob TV shows and movies. There's always a setup around the corner, Hannah.
Yeah, I do. I do feel that. You got to be prepared.
Yeah, always.
Eyes open.
Yeah. But I bet Ryan wasn't prepared to see what he saw when he walked in that room.
White meat looking for some gravy? No,
that's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
He said to her, do you have anything underneath that apron? And then she said, just some white meat that needs some gravy. And then she's like, that probably is not the best. Funniest line.
White meat looking for
perfect cringe moment. Very Dirty Dancing. I carried a watermelon. Love it. And then she says, unfortunately, she says the thing out loud that you're not supposed to say out loud, which she says. So let's just bang one out and then we can go back to being professionals. And he's like, whoa, no, that's not what I'm here for. I actually like care for you and really like you. And you can't just use me as a meat puppet. Goodbye.
A meat puppet.
He doesn't say that, but that was like, the feeling. I felt that was the feeling.
Whoa, Hannah, you just came up with that.
I did.
A meat puppet? What the hell is going on in Canada?
He just didn't want to be just like, used and abused and then just dropped.
Meat puppet?
He's standing up for himself. He didn't want to be a meat puppet. Have you never heard of the meat puppet?
No.
Is this a Canada versus US thing? Is this what's happening right now?
Is that ventriloquist talk? It's like a fleshy puppet.
A little sleep will do.
Oh, God. That's disgusting.
So he leaves. He's offended. And then this moment where Nick says like, hey, Cece, I got that $20 I owe you in my room. Come with me. So here's what I wanted to share, because I remember I was on a school trip in France. I was 14 years old. And this guy goes, hey, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But he said like, hey, there's something in my room. And everybody was kind of staying in these kind of like boarding rooms. And he was like, I just want to show it to you, whatever. So I was like, all right. So I went in, closes the door. Everybody that was in our group was in the room next door. And all of a sudden, this guy, it was the weirdest thing. I remember standing in the room, starts jumping on his bed. Just jumping. And then I was like, what is happening? And then starts making all these sounds exactly like Nick Miller and saying things out loud, right? And I'm just standing there and he keeps like gesturing to me like, it's okay, don't worry. And then he like jump up on the bed and he'd be like, oh yeah. And then he would like jump again and he's like, it's fine. The thing I have for you is over there. And then he kept going. So he was doing exactly what Nick Miller does to Cece in this. And I remember shooting this and I was like, I have lived this moment. And then we like walk out of the room. And then he like looks at his buddy who like winks at him and they kind of like high five. And I think so the guy was a virgin and I guess they'd made some bet like you can't get that chick over there. And then he went and like what a kid jumped on his bed for like a solid minute shouting things and came out and his buddies were like, bro, you got her, man. Amazing. Incredible.
Whoa, yeah. That's terrible.
It was terrible because then everybody thought I'd slept with this guy. And I was like, I have done nothing. I've done nothing. But then
Did you rectify that?
I just low-key felt so sorry for him. And of course, the girls all were like, obviously this did not happen because they knew me. They were like,
Yeah.
that's not happening. That's Hannah. But I remember the boys all fell for it and thought that he was just like the coolest guy. And he finally lost his virginity. He did not.
Oh.
He just did some, aerobics by himself
Oh
on the
my
bed.
God. Oh, he later sent death threats to random folks and brought a gun to school. Yeah, watch
It
out for
was a
that dude.
crazy move, though. But I guess he was, he felt bullied or something that he had not had sex yet. But anyway, I remember when I had to go do this scene with Nick or with Jake being Nick and watching it happen in front of me. I remembered it in the moment of like, oh, bro, what you do? It's embarrassing for you. Nobody's going to buy this except
100%.
for also in the show, just like in real life. The boy bought it. Schmidt comes barreling in and immediately attacks him and falls for what is so obviously ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was and I'm still stuck on the fact that somebody did that to you.
Somebody did that. I'm telling you. Look, you have a daughter. You got to get her prepared for how dumb boys can be. You got to be like, I was so confused also. I was 14. Or maybe I was 15, but I was so confused when this guy just came and closed the door because he also knew he had a small window of me not just turning around and walking out and giving up the game. I didn't know there was a game. So he just starts jumping on his head, shouting things as if that's how it works. Like you would just walk in the door and under 1 second, it's happening. Like it was so crazy. But Schmidt believes it too, comes in the room, they both try to choke each other to death at the same time. Wild technique of like a double murder.
Oh yeah. And then this is the moment where you kind of have you give a bit of advice, right? Mm-hmm. So he comes clean, that he's been sleeping with terrible women since the Jess breakup, and they make him feel terrible. And, you help him realize that he's afraid of getting hurt. Yeah, great. Feels good. And then terrible again. But you make him realize that, he's afraid of getting hurt again. Pearl tells Winston that they're not ladies. They're monitors. Well, they are ladies, or dudes, but they're monitors, basically. They're not called lunch ladies. I guess lunch monitors does sexy it up a little bit than lunch lady. There's
men who have the job, so you can't call it a lunch lady.
That's true. That's what I mean. So you got to call it a lunch monitor. Well, that would be so stupid of kids if you walked into a lunchroom and there's a man who's serving the food. They're like, "What's up, lunch lady?" Like, all right. Anyway, let's see.
Then Winston says something obviously inappropriate.
Oh God!
He's like, they changed the name from lunch ladies to lunch monitors, just like how you can't call
little people shrinkies.
Who wrote that line? Meriwether, who wrote that line? I don't understand sometimes with how hard broadcast standards and practices would be with us about saying certain things, how other things just slipped through and now live forever in TV land.
Oh God.
You had to say it too. I was like, wild. Caught me way off guard. I was like, how did that clear anything?
And what's crazy is that back then, they probably didn't even see anything wrong with it.
They're like, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, it's a funny joke. Well, there's nothing wrong with this, right?
No flag on that one.
No, man.
No, you can't say that.
Hey, man.
No.
Anyway, Nick and Jess, they're talking. We're talking on a roof.
This moment is so sweet. Anytime they do like a classic movie reference, like in the pilot with Dirty Dancing, and now this Thanksgiving moment with Ferris Bueller. I gotta say, Jake, like he did deliver it perfectly. You don't clock that it's from Ferris Bueller.
Right.
So which means it's great writing that anybody can deliver it in a scenario and it feels so honest. And he also, I don't know if you noticed it, but when he's delivering it, it's just full Jake. Like he goes into like his Jake cadence of talking, which I think is why it also feels so believable. Like it's just in his voice, which feels vulnerable.
Yeah, 100%. Did you say vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
You say vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
Venerable. I feel like for the first time in like a more than a decade of friendship, our Canadian and American isms are
No, I just think it's because you've been there now for a while.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. I'm vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Anyway,
okay,
he delivers it perfectly. She clocks it. She's like, that's Ferris Bueller. I also love how she's so not on Ferris Bueller's side. Like she roots for the system against him. Very funny. And then she has that speech does something and wakes something up in her where she's like, man, this guy's a once in a lifetime guy. Mm-hmm. I got to figure it out.
And she goes to his house. Mm-hmm. Talk about inappropriate. Don't just show up at my house.
This is the part that's inappropriate. Correct.
Don't just show up at my house like that. I know I said I love you, but like the fact that one, you know, I know you had to go into the administrative office and figure out what my address was.
Abuse of power.
And then you just showed up unannounced. Like, what if I was with my other woman? Like, you never know.
That's right. It's Thanksgiving. Like, I was given an agenda.
Yeah. Don't just roll up, you know? Anyway, she jokes that he's fired. And then and she brought him a half-eaten pie. It's so funny that the more she talks about the pie, it gets like, I only had one slice. Well, I had a couple slices. Well, I got a few slices. And then later on, we reveal she ate the whole damn thing.
She ate the whole pie, which also means she's like sitting outside of his house probably for like a good 10, 15 minutes. Because you can't just like house a pie in like a minute.
Well, in the car, maybe, if you're just, you know, and then, just, you know, she drove. No, there's no way. She can't two-hand a pie.
Some people, I've watched people have full meals while they're driving. Have you ever met someone like that, had a friend like that could just like eat a whole like tuna salad and a bagel and a drink while they're driving like 100 down the highway? I'm like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, I know some of those people. R.I.P. R.I.P.
R.I.P. for real. You know, she pulled over and ate that pie for sure. It's really sweet. So they have this moment. It's a very like Love Actually at the doorstep moment. Another great holiday movie, you know, where she's just like, listen to Oasis and pretend that they're love songs that you wrote for me. And she does this beautiful connection.
Yeah.
And it's sweet. It's the launch of that love story.
That's right. And, you know, they both agree that they want more. And they start to make out. Yeah. He pulls her in. He kisses her.
Great kiss.
That's right. Well, maybe. That was
not your favorite. Look, I'm not saying it's like one of the best kisses on TV history, but it's a really great kiss. It's very sweet. You're rooting for them. Yeah. It's earned.
It was mid.
Just like your mental strength.
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Their kiss was mid.
Very mid.
This, of course, the best conversation ever. Whenever Nick and Tran have a big chat.
Oh yeah.
Always funny.
Tell him he's got to get back out there. He's going to start dating again. And in this moment, now first of all, let's talk about how much beer was laying on the floor.
So much beer. Who knew that Tran had
was these throwing proclivities? Him back. Oh my God, Tran, you're alcoholic.
It's a lot. Also, the way that Nick goes like, you know, your face and body, throw it in a dress.
Yeah.
Come to daddy. Crazy. And then there's a knock on the door and he opens it and it's Tran in a dress. It's his granddaughter. He got his wish. His wish came true.
The whoosh came true.
Yeah. And she's like mean to him a little bit and like is a little sassy and you could just see that he loves it.
One second. Because do you know trivia? I'm trying to play a little trivia.
Oh, okay.
With do you know who plays Tran's goddaughter?
She looked crazy familiar. I will say that. She came on the screen and was like, I know her. Oh no, why are you laughing?
Did she get nominated for an Oscar?
What? What?
And I thought you of all people would know this.
I don't know.
Wait, what?
What? What did she get nominated for an Oscar for? Yes, I'm being serious.
Hannah, that's Greta Lee.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Anna, that's Greta Lee.
New Girl is crazy. How? Now I'm on my phone.
I thought you of all people would have had this clocked already, but I realized you weren't going to say it, so I was like, "How do you know that's Greta Lee?"
Oh my God!
Didn't she get nominated for an Oscar?
I don't know. How do we get these people on
lives.
New Girl? Greta?
Past Lives.
No, she was nominated. She didn't win.
That's what I said.
She was nominated for an Oscar. How? This is what I say about New Girl all the time. And the problem is, it's kind of like, let's say you were in a grocery store on a small Greek island and a guy like Tom Cruise walks by. You don't go like, what's up? That's Tom Cruise. Because you're not like in an LA grocery store. That's what I felt like. I was watching her in the episode and I was like, that looks like Greta Lee. But I was like, not Greta Lee. Yeah, Greta Lee.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have got Greta Lee.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, I like to say that New Girl was the reason for the season. It was the reason. She she really learned so much working with Jake Johnson that kind of just like added to her like actors well to pull on, and that's 100%.
how she did that performance
100%.
to get her Oscar nomination.
Yeah, she's really good. Really, really good. I love that. Well, we can get to that once we get to it. But that's next episode.
I'm sitting here going, that really was Greta Lee. This is why, here's the thing. I'm trying to be present. Like, I rewatch the episodes. I don't do it with like my phone in hand. I just sit there and I watch it and I see what I remember. And that's what this podcast is. But now I realize, no, I need to Google every thought I have when I'm watching, because we have like all the heavy hitters on this show. That's crazy.
Yeah. We do, dog. Greta Lee.
Okay. Well, also, by the way, Jake Johnson just gets paired with the most beautiful, talented women throughout like the series. If you think of who they paired him with, it's incredible.
Wild. It's wild. So some people get all the perks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Meanwhile, Coach gets fully body slammed because he goes into Pepper's blind spot.
Yeah. Oh my God. And she's like having to, she's having to apologize to him. She's like, I'm sorry I did that.
She should. She slammed that man to the ground like he was a rag doll.
Yeah, but that's instinctual. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that way because my body's built that way too. And when people roll up on you, sometimes you got to like grab a wrist, do a twist, pull them over the shoulder, break that bitch out where it's, you know what I'm saying? Rearrange some bones.
You got to be prepared.
You know what I'm saying?
They came into your personal space. I get it.
Yeah, 3 feet. 3 feet at all times. Back up. Swinging distance.
So then Coach is vulnerable. And he basically says, like, look, you're a beautiful woman. I'm attracted to you. I just have never dated anyone stronger than me, and I don't know how I feel about it. So then they decide to figure this out with the arm wrestling competition, where she clearly lets him win.
She clearly lets him win.
That's right.
Because, she's probably... I'm gonna assume that her character deals with that a lot because she's so strong.
That's
that
right.
men get intimidated and a bit insecure. So then she has to, go, oh no, you're stronger than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. She has to kind of care for their little insecurities in those moments.
Oh, 100%.
Then this weird moment. Okay. So Cece tells Schmidt that he's also on her never list because Schmidt had said, you're on my never list. He's never allowed to even pretend to do anything with you. We have a never list. She shares that. They have this kind of little sparkly moment between them, Cece and Schmidt, and you can see her kind of falling back in. And then he goes off to get a drink or something, and then there's a knock at the door.
Yes.
And she opens it, and there is Jeff.
Jeff with a G.
With his Thanksgiving offering, explains the whole thing about the peacock, somehow makes it sexy and cool. He's an attractive man. Just melts. And then... She's supposed to just melt. And then, I remember this too, because then I had to speak Hindi. I don't speak Hindi.
It looked pretty good. You speak Hindi
I
as well as you
practice-
beatbox.
So I had to practice so much. I reached out to every single friend of mine that speaks Hindi, and I sent them the dialogue and had them just record themselves saying it and send it back to me. And I just had to memorize just like the rhythm of the sounds because I don't
Right.
speak Hindi. Even though I studied it, I did study it in university Hindi, and I could read and write at one point.
You could read and
Okay.
write at one point? Oh, what the Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like
Just in
a
general.
long time ago, and I was never fluent. I never got to practice it. It was just like a year of like academic study on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I had to like speak it. So at least I knew how to do the pronunciation. But man, it was so stressful because if I did it wrong, even one sound or word wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. You've like showed yourself.
Yes. You can't be out here exposing yourself like that.
No, you can't be out here exposing yourself. That's illegal.
That's illegal, dog. Coach and Pepper, they do push-ups in his room, which I'm sure led to some other stuff.
It did.
It led to some
You see her with her
things.
clothes off later. Definitely, Banksgiving was a success for those two.
Nick, he gets trans granddaughter's phone number. And
Greta Lee,
Greta Lee, shout out Greta Lee. Yeah, lunch lady, Allison Becker, she played Pearl. Okay, Pearl. Megan Falcone, she was the racist. And Alex Marshall Brown, she was Pepper. Shout out to Adam Hubel. Is it Hubel? What is his name? Adam Hubel for as Jeff with a G. Shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Gee,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, shoved out of
Huber.
the loft. Didn't even get in the loft.
Yeah, Adam
it's
Huber,
a lot
Huber.
of physical violence that
Yeah.
happens in this episode.
Oh, you should see the next one.
I know the next one's crazy.
If you think violence happens in this one, wait till y'all see the next one.
And then Cece chooses Schmidt, and Schmidt chooses Cece, and they play the time Monopoly game, which is sweet because those two are just known for like epic hookups.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sweet that everybody else gets them. And they just have like this sweet moment playing a board game and hanging out and getting to know each other again.
Right.
And then we go and see Jess and Ryan post coitus
They're in bed.
watching Ferris Bueller. And she's just like, man, I just feel for the administration.
So they all get some except for Cece and Schmidt, which they probably did. Who knows?
That's right. It ends at a certain point. We don't
That's
know.
right.
We don't
It
continue
ends.
the night with them.
Exactly. us-
All right, you guys, that's the episode. When we come back, we gonna mess up.
Thanksgiving style.
All right, babe.
Babe. Who from the loft do we think would be the easiest to set up on a date?
Nick?
No.
Really? I feel like Nick's just got like looser standards. I feel like Schmidt
no.
has got like some rules. Coach has like some rules. Winston has got all these weird things you're into that you got to figure out. Jess likes
No.
things that are super specific. Cece can be picky. For sure, it's Nick.
No, Nick literally went through, well, you'll see when he goes on this date, all the things that he doesn't like. No, we should just do this. Nah, I can't do that. It's like a questionnaire they have between each other. Nick is, Winston is so open to anything. I feel like it
That's
doesn't
true.
matter. He's so
That's
like,
true.
yeah,
I
sure.
forgot
He
about the
sees
bus drivers and the lunch ladies and all the things. That's true.
Yeah.
When he would be up there. But I'm not talking about like putting them in a relationship.
No, it says
I'm
easy to
saying
set up. Like who would
Just
who
to
would
set
agree?
up on a date.
Yeah, like who would agree? I don't think Nick would agree because Nick would be like, she has a job. I don't know. Wait, I got a thing. I got to lay in bed today, or I got to do the. Winston
This
would
is
be
true.
like,
I see what you're
sweet.
saying. Yeah. Winston would show up to whatever the situation is.
Whatever.
He's down for things. All right.
He don't care. He don't care. He's open. He's like, hey, let me experience it. And if I don't
I'm just
like
saying,
it,
like, if Nick said, set me up on a date, you could bring anybody and he would probably.
well,
be
you're thinking
cool
of
with it.
like, you're thinking of if you were actually trying to be a good matchmaker,
Correct.
who would be to match with?
That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like Nick's type, there's a lot of those girls. I could find one quickly for him.
yeah.
But for Winston, he just has certain interests that I think you got to be a little more specific with him.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and that In that sense, I agree.
Okay. Well, we agree with each other.
Yeah, because you're talking about like longevity,
That's right.
like a match.
Always.
I'm talking about, will you go on the date? Yeah, after that, I don't give a shit. So that's what I'm talking about.
Tran is the MVP of this episode, for real. Tran stories. Here's the thing. We were never really with Tran.
Never
With Tran. That's like a full
time.
Jake Johnson experience on New Girl with that dynamic. And we just never got Tran time.
I think I did once in the, we were at the Wii Spa. Maybe it was the Wii Spa. No, it was a different,
cool.
In the hot tub. Yeah, when he's kind of like holding my body. I think that was the one time, but we didn't really speak too much. It got to the point where I honestly thought that Ralph couldn't speak.
He's method.
He
was a method actor.
They hired a mute guy. Okay. But yeah, I just remember he was just a really nice guy. That's and a sweetheart. You got to be a sweetheart to come back and say that for years I want to come on this TV show and not say a word. He said something at the end. He did drop a line, I think, at the end. But yeah, that's kind of wild to me. But anyway,
it's those characters like the Trans, the outside Daves, who like live in the world of New Girl that are so beloved and that make our show, I feel so connected and relatable and believable, because we all have that in our lives. We have these kind of peripheral characters in our real life that kind of help be like touchstones as we go through the world. That's right. Tran, man. That's Tran. Shout out to Tran. Shout out to Ralph. We love you and miss you, buddy. Well, folks, that's it. That's it for this episode, Banksgiving. We hope that this holiday season, you all will share all of your Banksgiving stories with Hannah. Please do. Actually, I am curious, because you know how like when you see an idea on TV, and if you're a fan of it, sometimes you're like, we should try that. Has anybody done a real Banksgiving where you had to bring a date for someone else? Like any friend group actually done that? I would like to know. Yes, let's clip this because I want to know too. I want to know too. The gritty, if all the specifics and the gritty details, you can send those pictures and videos to Hannah. Don't send that to me. Just tell me the stories. I'm all about the stories. But anyway, go and grab some of this. Grab some of this when you can. Yes. Da merch, the Mess Around merch. We designed it. We created it just for you. It's at the messaroundpod.com. Snatch it up before it goes. We do little limited drops on there with some fun things. We got some Elaine's Big Day shirts on there, some Fergie Fergs on there. That's right. Check it out and then take a picture and tag us at the Mess Around Pod on IG. And then come back next week because we have got a wild episode called Girl Fight. That was The Mess Around, an iHeartMedia production. Our executive producer is Joelle Monique. Our senior producer is Abu Zafar. Bei Wang provided engineering and editing services. Additional production from Daniel Goodman, Wendy Heisler, and Kyle Chevron. Our theme song was written and composed by Ronald Jukebox Jackson. Catch you next time. Bye.